cut me short. I was thinking this was the way to go, and you put up your puppet show. I say cheers to life. No, won't be no good man's wife. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. So I woke up, sun in my eyes, forgot all about what I did last night. What I do remember that it was real, real nice. Talks about me are never good. I don't live like the way that I should. Oh well, I'm in for some fun tonight. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Hey now, it's you and I. We could be the next Bonnie and Clyde. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Oh, it's our time to rise up. Live the life we're proud of. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Hey now, it's you and I. We could be the next Bonnie and Clyde. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Oh, it's our time to rise up. Live the life we're proud of.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Bryan with DD214 Transport. Please like, subscribe, and hit the little bell for notifications. Today, I'm reaching out to talk to you about unscrupulous shippers and how to deal with them. Now, not all shippers are unscrupulous. Some do make honest mistakes. But there are some out there that try to get away with shady deals. What we have going on now is a situation which I have warned you guys about on numerous videos about people trying to throw extra stuff on your deck after you have already agreed to move a shipment. And these guys just assume that you're going to say, oh, okay, I'll take that. Oh, okay. No, guys. We have two things to sell, and that's deck space and weight. Deck space and weight. If you give your deck space and weight away, then you're basically doing stuff for free. Now, the current situation is this, and I will tell you now, this is, good morning. Have a cup of coffee. The current situation is this. We have a driver right now. This is going to be a two-part deal. It's going to be some of this today and some of it tomorrow. So, we have a driver right now that went into a customer, 8,000 pounds, was supposed to be put on his deck. He had 8,300 pound max is what he had left on his deck that he could legally scale. This is in Ohio, He rolls in, he's at 420. The couple guys that were there loaded him up, got strapped down. They went home. He left, stopped outside the gate and started looking at his paperwork. Well, guess what? When he actually looked at the paperwork, which is exactly backwards, you should look at this paperwork before you ever let him set one piece of anything on your deck. So now he's got the load on, everybody's gone, it's a Friday evening. They, instead of putting the 8,000, they put 9,800, which totally threw him overweight. Friday afternoon. Now, to tell you what is going on with this, it is a rookie mistake, absolutely. I guarantee it'll never happen to David again. It's happened to him once, never happen again. But I did it too. Hey guys, guilty. I'm not trying to diminish anybody. I'm just telling you this is a rookie mistake. So now he's completely overweight. So what has to happen? Well, dispatcher, me, Miss Mary in compliance, all of us are working toward a solution. The broker is gone. They say they have after hours. They have no after hours anything. I will say that this is probably an unscrupulous shipper because they literally took the 8,000 pounds, scratched it out, and put 9,800. So they bought 8,000 pounds, but they're trying to ship 9,800, which in this particular circumstance threw David completely overweight. I mean, he's almost 2,000 pounds overweight. So we've got 4 people working several hours trying to rectify this situation to no avail. Now, the overweight permits to run out of Ohio into Pennsylvania is $300. $300. What we told him to do, finally, was because there was no communication from the broker, could not get a hold of the shipper. So we ended up telling Dave to park, just stop, get a room, do your 34 and stop. We'll deal with it on Monday morning. Now that's in the morning. So part 2 of this will happen tomorrow, and I'm hoping I can get the broker on the phone and discuss it with him. But what you have to realize is I'm going off the cuff here, okay? But there's $260 some in overweight material on this trailer. Then we have $300 in fees. You got 5 hours of detention time that we worked on until we finally gave up and parked. You have scale tickets. All this is cost to the driver. All of that. So if he runs it, we're kind of out of any kind of negotiating deal at this point. So we told him to stop. Do not deliver this load. Do not take this load any further than you've taken it. You've stopped. You're done. Now, in Monday morning, we're going to call the broker and try to work out a deal with him. And 1 or 2 things is going to happen. They're either going to have to, he's going to have to go back to the shipper, and they're going to have to take that stuff off, and they're going to have to pay some detention, or they're going to pay the extra money for the overweight permits and all the other stuff, and he can deliver the load. So we're going to find out tomorrow. You guys will be a part of it. We'll see how this all turns out. But again, guys, I can't stress enough. Look at your paperwork before they set that stuff on the deck. Because what they remember, the shipper tells the broker what's being shipped. The broker then, between you and the broker, you make the deal to run it for a certain amount of money. If it's bigger or heavier than what they told you and what they purchased, then there needs to be an adjustment made, and you stop before you ever get loaded. Because if you cannot make a deal, then they will pay you a truck order not used. Okay? So, the ball is in your court, and you have the negotiating power until you drive off. Once you drive off, you sort of own it. It is yours. So check back in tomorrow, or I'll start this up again tomorrow, and we will see how this plays out. All right, guys. See you in the morning. Hey, guys. We're on day number 2. So my guess is we're going to get a truck order not used out of this deal, because unscrupulous shippers know what they do, and they do it a lot. It's not the first time this guy's done this. And it's going to be one of those deals where they going to try to seem nice and try to, you know, work it out and all that. But when it all boils down to zero, they're going to just take it off and pay us $100, $150. So that's my guess. See you in a minute.
Hello?
Hey, good morning. This
Yes,
is
how are you?
Bryan with DD214.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on a recorded line, and I'm going to use this as a training video. All right, so we got a problem with a load that loaded out in Ohio on Friday.
Okay.
What happened was the
Do you have the
ship.
load numbers so I can get it pulled up?
Yes, sir. It's EXP 7005748.
Broadview Heights to Hatfield, PA?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, so it was supposed to be 8,000 pounds. We had about 8,300 open on the deck. Rolled in, and they scratched out the 8,000 pounds and threw 9,800 on him. And
Okay.
it totally threw him overweight. We didn't realize it until they had already packed up and left for the weekend. And my driver's still sitting up there. We got
In Ohio?
Yeah.
And I assume he's a hotshot then, correct?
He is, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so we worked on it for about 5 hours on Friday, trying to get a hold of you guys, trying to get a hold of the shipper, and we just couldn't get anything done. So we reached out to the state and checked on the overweight permits. The overweight permits for this thing's $300.
Okay.
So we didn't move until we got a hold of you guys to see what you wanted to do.
Okay. Let me check. Have you called that shipper? Are they back in the office now?
We have not called the shipper yet.
Okay.
We wanted to touch base with you since this was your client. We thought,
Okay.
but right now what we're looking at is we've got, as far as weight goes, they threw about $270 worth of weight on us that we can't carry without the permits. So if we are to haul the load, it's going to be about an additional $1,005 for everything. But I think what we can do is work out a deal where we come over and take that extra weight off, and because he's still up there fairly close, we can take that extra weight off, cover some detention time, and go ahead and roll with it if we can make something like that happen.
Okay. Why don't you call the shipper, see if they're in there? How many pieces did they load him with?
They load him with 2 additional pallets. They literally scratched out. I can send you the invoice.
So they did 7 pieces then, or 7 total.
Yeah, let me double check just so I'm telling you the correct information. Oh, it's on the phone actually. The driver.
That's okay. We can go with that.
Okay.
If you want to also call that shipper and see if they're there, if they can go ahead and pull those 2 pieces off, because I'm sure that's what my sales rep's going to say, is to pull those 2 pieces off. She's not in yet till 8 o'clock, so another 45 minutes.
Right.
So why don't you call the shipper, be like, hey, you guys, we're supposed to get 5 pieces, 8,000 pounds, you load us with, 7 pieces, almost 10,000. We can't haul that, and just see if, be like, hey, we're still in the area, if we can come back and pick it up, or have
Take it off.
And have it taken off.
Right.
And see what they say, and then give us a call back, and we can go from there.
Okay, we'll do that. And then.
All right. And what was your name?
My name's Bryan.
Bryan. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll do that. We'll reach out to the shipper real quick,
Okay.
and I'll give you a call back. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye bye.
Yep. Bye. Hello, Craig. Can I help you?
Hey, Craig. This is Bryan with DD214 Transport. I'm on a recorded line. We are going to be using this as a training video.
Okay.
Hey, listen. All right. So Friday, one of our drivers came in there and was to pick up 8,000 pounds. And
Yeah.
what happened is they scratched it out and put 9880 on him, and he can't carry that. It totally took him overweight. Can we come back and take those last 2 pallets off of there? He's still in the area.
He's still in the area.
Yeah, he had to stay over the weekend because he couldn't run it, and the overweight permits were cost prohibitive.
Well, I can't. I need to send the whole thing. So if he can't run it, then I got to call my girl at Express Logistics, Amber,
Yeah.
and have her get me somebody that can, because I even showed him. I told her at first. I told her that the load was. I'm pretty sure I told her it was like 9,000 pounds.
What we come in there to pick up was 8,000 pounds, and we had 8,300 that we were able to pick up and put on the deck, and what got put on the deck was 9880.
All right. Well, have him come back. You know what? I've got a tow motor with a scale on it, and we can double check everything, double check my math. But I'm pretty sure I was right on with that number. And I can recheck it.
You think it was right at 8,000? Is that what you're saying? Because actually somebody scratched it out, scratched the 8.
That was me.
Oh, okay, all right. So, at 9880, he is 15 or 1,600 pounds overweight.
Okay, let me see here. So I had one pallet. Let me get my where's my calculator? There it is. All right. I had one pallet at 1,000. I had another one at 880. I had another one at 500. That was the rail. And I had the numbers, 9880 is what I came up with.
Yeah, well, the broker, whenever you gave the numbers to the broker took it and sold it for 8,000. So,
Okay.
We took it for 8,000 because we can run 8,000, but we can't run the 98.
Yeah, what's his max?
He was at 8,000. 8,300 was his max.
8,300?
Yep.
All right. Let me see something. And that's close. If I took a pallet
Okay. All right. So you want? Do you want me?
Kind of expecting this stuff. So, yeah.
Hey, I get it.
I'm pretty sure I told Amber what it was going to be about 9,000 pounds.
I get it. Listen, there's some kind of communication issue here, but right now we've had a driver stuck in Ohio since Friday, and
Right.
whatever communication issue that is, I don't know, but we have to run legal. So.
Oh yeah. I'm all for that. Yeah. I mean, he looked at the thing and at the manifest that I gave him, and he didn't seem concerned at the time. Obviously, he told me he had just been kind of started doing this. So.
Yeah. Well, what he said he saw, I will tell you this: what David said he saw was the 8,000 pounds, and then he flipped it over and saw where the 98 was on there, and then he kind of stepped back a minute after you guys had already left, I guess.
Yeah, he got here 20 minutes before we were going to leave. We got him all loaded up.
Right.
He had a bubble in the side of the sidewall, so we sent him over to a tire place over in Macedonia, which is like 20 minutes away from us.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
All right, yeah. If you want, just send it back here, and we'll go ahead and I'll just remeasure it, reweigh everything, and get him. He can't be over 8,300 pounds.
No, he needs to be, that's total max. I mean, 8,000 is what we come in to pick up. 83 was our buffer. That's at 300 pounds where,
Yeah.
A little bit of give and take there. But we would like to get him right at 8,000 pounds.
Okay. Yeah, how far away is he from here? Any idea?
Yeah, and less than 20 miles. I mean, he literally had to stop because he couldn't go any further. We spent 4 or 5 hours Friday trying to fix this and couldn't get a hold of anybody. We got a hold of, heck, the overweight permits are $300, and we were going to do that, but then we couldn't get a hold of the broker to make sure that was okay. So Friday night everybody's going like the wind. So we ended up just having to stop until we figured everything out.
Yeah, because Amber from Express called me at about 2 o'clock, 1:30, and she said that the driver had a bad tire. He was getting a tire fixed, and he wasn't going to get in until about 4:30. And I said, well, if it's any later than that, have him call me. But I said, I want to get this. I had it all staged outside.
Right.
I said, I really want. Plus we'd already had it lined up for the guys in PA to take it. And then he showed up, and he's like, I got a bad tire, and we're like, all right, I thought that's what you were getting fixed.
Right.
And then, but okay, yeah, just have him come back, and I'll get him under that weight.
All right.
I'll get him at 8,000 pounds.
Okay.
And I'll just LTL the rest of it. I think that's what we'll probably end up doing.
Okay. All right. Well, he's going to head back over there. Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
all right.
Sounds good.
We're gonna see what happens, and we'll just go from there. So the best thing to do at this point is go let them take that stuff. They're waiting on you now. Go let them take that stuff off of there and take off and keep rolling.
Okay.
All right.
All right. If you can get Jake to get me a good address, because the address is on the BOL, not populate in Garmin.
Oh, you're talking about the delivery address?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. But you how far are you away from the?
I should be there. I would think, guessing a half hour.
Oh, okay. All right. So run over and get that extra weight off of there, and head out, and then we'll work on this end from to see what we can do.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Hey, good morning. This is Ben from Express Logistics. How may I help you?
Hey, good morning. This is Bryan on a recorded line calling for Ben. Is he available?
Yes, my name is Ben. Yep.
Hey, Ben, this is Bryan with DD214 Transport. I'm recording this for a training video. We've got a driver up in Ohio that was supposed to go to Pennsylvania. Are you aware of the situation on that?
I might not be just because I just got it and I wasn't here on Friday.
Okay, well, happy Monday.
Load number?
Yes, sir. Happy Monday. Here we go. So, let's see. Our load number, of course I can't see it. Yeah, here it is. EXP 7005748.
Okay. Was there like already something going on like last Friday?
Yes.
Or over the weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, long story short, our driver rolled in, got loaded. Instead of being 8,000, it was 9,880. Completely put him overweight. We couldn't get a hold of anybody with you. The shipper had already left. I instructed the driver to stop. We checked on the overweight permits, and they are $300 basically to run overweight, and we could not get permission for anything from anybody. So the driver is back there now, and now the shipper is saying that he would go ahead and pay the overweight permits, but again, we can't do anything until we clarify this through you guys. So, what do we want to do?
Well, where's the driver at right now?
Driver's at the shippers.
Okay. And he already got charged an overweight fee? Is that what you said?
Negative. We stopped because he was completely overweight. Yeah. We called on the overweight permits. We can get overweight permits, but they're $300. So we did not want to move forward until we had an approval from the shipper and the broker, whereas nobody over the weekend was in. So we had to stop for the weekend until we could get a hold of you guys this morning. Good morning, it's Bryan.
Hey, Bryan. It's Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, so I got a quick question.
Yes.
So for this one, did you guys get other freight on there and then that put you over? Because,
no.
I mean, when you guys got there, your driver, it looks like, just from the story I heard from our customer who was the shipper, the emails that I got, it looks like you guys knew that it was going to be 9,800 pounds before it got loaded, took it and accepted it, and then found out that there was a tire issue, had to go get fixed anyways, kind of got rushed, and then told us after it got loaded that it was going to be 9,800 pounds. So I'm just trying to understand where the disconnect was. If you guys knew that it was going to be over 8,000 pounds.
No, negative.
You know, that we would have.
That's not true. We went in with 8,300 available on the deck. The shipper then crossed out the 8,000 pounds that was on the paperwork. I have the paperwork. Crossed it all out and put 9,800 pounds after he loaded the truck.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
Why not? You want to see the paperwork?
No, I know. It just.
This is this.
If you guys can't haul the 9,800 though, then we're gonna have to find a way probably to find someone else that can haul it legally.
And that's fine.
We can't get permits.
We can get permits.
No, there's no. I mean, there's no way for someone to get permits that on a load that wouldn't be overweight on any other regular, truck.
No, that's not true.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's not true. No, you get permits for your vehicle. So here's the situation. The owner come up.
My customer's not going to want to pay for all this extra stuff. They're just going to want to find another truck that'll do it legally.
And that's fine. Yeah, that's right. But
you guys are still at the shipper, so.
Do what now?
And you guys are still at the shipper, so.
Oh, absolutely.
It looks like we're gonna. What's that?
I said absolutely. We're still at the shipper. So we gotta deal with all these other fees we got going on here.
Where was the 5-hour detention coming from?
Well, because from the time we left, he sat there until we were able to tell him to stand down. This is us getting the permits, finding the permits, getting the permits, calling you guys. There was supposed to be after hours emergency service and nobody picked up on that. There's nobody at the shipper. So it's what it took. You had 4 people working on this mess. Now the shipper's being sketchy, I'll tell you, and you know he's being sketchy. He told you 8,000 pounds. That's what he booked. That's what you guys booked. Then when the driver gets there, he throws 98.80 on him. You know that's a sketchy shipper. So, you know, when it all boils down, this is the shipper's problem. I understand you guys sold the 8,000 pounds. I get it. We got it. However, we bought the 8,000 pounds. He stuck 98.80. And he knew he was going to stick 98.80 on. He knew it. Because if he hadn't known it, he wouldn't be all upset now about it. He's already jumped all over the driver over there. And, yeah, so this is...
Did you guys already have something on the truck, though?
No.
Before?
Negative.
So how are you guys not able to do 9,880 pounds legally?
Well, because we're a hotshot, number one. Number two, the guy, this particular truck we have has an extra fuel tank on it that causes it from being able to do it. How is it that your shipper doesn't know that 8,000 pounds isn't 98.80? He did know.
All right, hold on, sir. I'm gonna have you speak with my supervisor, so I'm gonna get you right over to Angela.
Sure.
She's gonna be able to help you.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hello, this is Angela.
Hey Angela, this is Bryan with DD214. I'm on a recorded line. We're using this as a training video. Hey, listen, I don't know what we're going to do about this mess, but we got a mess going on.
Yeah, Ben was just filling me in on this. So when your driver got to the shipper, they didn't tell him anything about adding more weight than 8,000 pounds?
No, it was actually scratched out on the second page of that. On the first page it said 8,000 pounds. On the second page he scratched it out and put 98.80.
Okay. And what's the max weight your hotshot can hold?
83.
Is it a 30-foot hotshot or what size?
Yeah, it's a 30-foot. The problem with this particular setup is it's got a huge fuel tank on it, so it reduces the total amount that it can carry. So that's why when we saw the 8,000, was like, well, that puts it. We've got a 300-pound buffer there. So if there's anything, anything, the pallet's a little heavy or whatever, it's no big deal.
Right.
But when he, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and this all occurred on Friday afternoon?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Because I know it sounds like there was some miscommunication here, but I know you talked to another guy in my office, but you guys went ahead and already got the overweight tickets for
No, we stopped.
Okay.
Because we didn't have permission from you guys to do that. So we stopped. We reached out to what we were hoping was your after hours service, but there was nobody answering that phone. We tried to reach out to the shipper, and nobody. Of course, it's Friday. Everybody's gone. And so we worked for about 5 hours trying to come up with a plan to make this work. But when it all boiled down to it, it was like, we don't have permission to do any of this. What we're going to have to do is stand down.
Did you leave a voicemail on the after
We
hours
did,
number?
yes.
You did. Okay, I'll have to, because I know that our policy is if you leave a voicemail, I have to get back to you. So I'll have to follow up with the lady that was on call, make sure you didn't miss anything.
Yeah. We also sent emails Jake sent emails, I sent emails, so we did everything we could do before we stood down, and finally it was like, look, you know, the best thing we can do at this point is just stop and
Right.
let's figure out where we go from here. So, you know, if it had been a couple hundred pounds, it wouldn't have been any big deal.
Right.
But
Yeah, I get that.
I'm afraid that the shipper actually knew that this was going to be more than 8,000 pounds. So.
Well, I'm just confused because we do ship with this customer a lot, and they are always very upfront with that. You know, if they're going to add more product or if the weights get changed, they always tell us all the time, and we pick up out here multiple times a week. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure why they wouldn't have told us this one time. I'll have to follow up with the sales rep, but you have not got the overweight permits, correct?
We do not have the overweight permits. We have them filed, but we have not purchased them. So, so we're not out that. We are not out that $300. We're okay there.
Okay.
The compliance lady is standing there ready to push the button as soon as we figure out what we're going to do.
Okay. Well, just hold tight for me. I'm not sure if they're going to want to do this with it being, you know, even if it is 9,800 pounds, there's multiple other hot shots that would be able to do it.
Absolutely.
I understand. I
Yep.
understand it did take up quite a bit of your time on Friday evening, so give me a couple minutes here. I'm going to go talk to the sales rep and see what I can do, and then I will give you a call right back.
If you would please, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thank you.
Hello, it's Bryan.
Hi, Bryan. This is Angela giving you a call back from Express Logistics.
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to let you know, I followed up with the sales rep on the slope picking up out of Broadview Heights.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on here. We talked to the shipper is actually our customer on this one. She has a pretty close relationship with him.
Right.
And I guess the driver told the shipper that he doesn't have a CDL, which restriction on the weight that he can haul, or
No, he's a non-CDL hotshot. Okay, that means his total gross weight, the gross vehicle weight rating, GVWR, is 26,000 pounds and less. So you take his truck, him, the trailer, the fuel. I don't know what this has to do with 9,800 pounds being put on the deck, but his maximum weight is 8,300 pounds that he can stick on the deck.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, there must be some back and forth going on between the driver and the shipper there. But the shipper, they're just going to go ahead and take the product off of this. They loaded a few other ones that have been overweight before, and the hot shots have ended up like blowing tires and blowing axles.
Right. Well,
They're just going to...
that's fine. What are we going to do about the rest of these expenses we've incurred?
Well, I told you to hold off on the permit, so you didn't order those, correct?
That's correct. That is correct.
Okay. I mean, I know you've been there, so I'll get you a truck order not used for this. I checked with the lady that was on call this weekend, and she said she did not receive any voicemails about any issues Friday evening.
I left one. Jake left one. I left and emails. Have you guys not received emails either?
I haven't seen anything on the emails. I can check. I mean, the standard truck order is 150, but whatever.
Well, we've been there for 3 days.
I understand.
So that's what you're offering, is 150?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So they're going to remove they're going to remove everything and we will roll. Okay?
Sorry, they'll remove everything, and what was the rest of it?
I said we'll roll. We'll get out of there. We got to roll.
Okay.
All right?
The truck order not used sent over to you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yep, bye.
Okay, guys, there you go. Even though we're taking the loads off, they've done this before. You heard her say that. You're better off getting rid of that mess. We're only going to get $150 out of this thing, okay? And it's going to cost us more. However, you have to realize that you can't hold the freight hostage. You just get rid of it. You cut your losses and you move on. What we did not do is we did not get an overweight ticket. We did not spend money on overweight permits. He had to take his 34 anyway, so we got the 34 done. So now we're looking for a load out of Ohio somewhere. You got to remember, guys, not all freight is good freight. Not all money's good money. You can't tear up your equipment. You can't give your stuff away. So let me reach out to Miss Mary here and tell her to stand down. Let me call David first.
You what?
All right, they're going to remove everything.
They're what?
They're going to take everything off.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
So,
He just came outside.
yep. So here's the deal. The guy knows that he overloaded you.
Yeah.
So they're going to pay $150 for a truck order not used is all they're going to pay. So
Okay.
this guy he's done this before, just so you know.
Oh, he has?
Oh yeah, he's done this. He's already said they've overloaded trucks before and broke axles and done all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you're going to unload. When you get back in the truck, please give me a call, and we'll just do a debrief on everything so that I can finish out this video, okay? All right, brother.
I'll be back a little bit.
All right, bye. Hey, David.
Hey, I'm unloaded. Nothing needs to be signed.
No. We gotta.
He was pissed off and hauled ass.
What was he pissed off about?
I guess unloading it.
Oh, well, shouldn't have loaded it in the first place.
He said, I'm unloading you, and he unloaded. And I mean, he come right up behind me on the forklift while I'm trying to undo the straps, and he tried to pull it off where I can get the straps. Pulled off the trailer, and he unloaded and hauled ass. Ain't said nothing.
Yeah, no, everything's fine. They're going to send the truck order not used over. But just so you know that this broker and this shipper has a personal relationship. They've been, they're hauling stuff 3 or 4 times a week out of there. And guarantee you this shipper's doing this every load. Every single load. He just got caught on it this time.
Right.
So
Yeah, he said, he told me, he said, we load this much, but then he said, I don't know where the broker came up with 8,000.
yeah, so he threw it back on the broker. Broker threw it back on him. Now they're both standing there with their hands up in the air, and they're mad at everybody. So,
Right.
but you didn't tear up your equipment. You had to take your 34 anyway. So, we chalk this up as a learning lesson.
I've had a couple of good learning lessons in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. You're going to go through them. So,
Yeah.
so
Well, you know what? Something should have told me. The old cop was kind of coming out, but they were just awfully nice.
right.
Just trying to get me set up with a tire, get me out of there, get me over to the place, and not paying attention. And it's my fault. I should have not been rushed. And but I'm thinking about trying to get everything done so I can get on the road, get to as close to delivery as I can, and all that. And that's what happens when you get in a rush.
So, what is your advice for the new guys out there on your learning lesson?
Slow down.
Yep.
Like you always said at the end of your videos, ain't nothing worth putting on that truck trailer your life or anybody else's. I mean, not that I don't speed. I might set my cruise 2 to 3 miles over the speed limit, but I don't speed. But don't let anybody get you in a rush.
That's right. Don't
That's
rush around.
That's when mistakes happen.
That's right. That's
And
right.
I know better than that. I mean, shit, me search warrants and shit I've done over the years and things, you know, you don't rush.
Oh Lord, call canceled. Maybe he'll call back. But things you want to, you know, like he said, don't get in a rush. You know, you make sure that load's right. You make sure your paperwork's right, because it is hell after the fact to make it happen. And you saw, you know, everybody's nice and nice and nice until you hit them with the facts. You say, hey, this is what it's costing us. Did the string break? I think the string broke.
I was just talking, and I said, "You ain't got nothing to say."
Yeah.
One guy goes, "Well, shit, he ain't even on the phone."
No, it just went blank. Yep, you're still on camera, but
Yeah.
so
I mean, that's the biggest thing is just don't let yourself get into a rush. I mean, I felt that way for 2 or 3 days before I got to here, you know, because of that tropical storm.
right.
And sit down there at that Air Force base for almost 3 hours waiting on it.
Well, I don't know what's going on with the phone, guys, but it keeps cutting off. So anyway, remember, guys, just don't get in a hurry. Make sure the stuff's right before you roll out, because if it's wrong, it's wrong. All you first responders, thank you. You guys are going to be busy with this hurricane season. Veterans, active or retired, thank you. Remember, nothing you're going to pick up, put down, or set on that deck is worth your life or anybody else's life. So be safe and look at your paperwork. It's Bryan with DD214. Like, subscribe, pass it around. See you next time.
Hey, come on, put your hands up. It's a new day, one to make everything